Maybe he needs to know what Georgia DOT's doing. Maybe he needs to be the kind of fellow that's out there in the business world already and has got great expertise, but yet he'll be a young man with enough go-getter that maybe he'll be the next county commissioner when I'm not there.
All right, thank you. Candidate Tracy Lewis.
Yes, that was a part of my show me solutions, the things I would do in the first 90 days as your county commissioner, and that is hire the best county manager that we can find in the nation. I believe it needs to be a national search, but there could be someone right here in Bartow County. We can buy Bartow. We have talented people in this county, and I've actually got a couple of ideas of someone in, two people in this county that I think could do this job. Because Steve Bradley, we have been so blessed that not only does he have the finance background, but he also has the legal background. And things for the county commissioner to have someone 2 offices down that can answer the legal questions and the requirements, not only as the finance, that is critical. So I've served on numerous search committees through the Chattahoochee Technical College board that I'm on. We have hired 2 presidents since I've been there for the past 8 years. I've served on 3 search committees, all of these national search committees for the Chamber of Commerce through my years being involved in the Cartersville-Bartow Chamber of Commerce. And this person, we need to be able to pay this person whatever we can afford and maybe more than we can afford. But this person is critical. This person is the one who knows the details, and the commissioner, which I believe is the one for the vision and the ideas, and building the right team is something I know how to do, and the county administrator is the #1 person on that team. And I have spoken with Steve Bradley also, and he is willing to help in that process and to help come back and consult and train in the transition.
Candidate Mike Beard.
There's no doubt the county administrator is vital, but who that person is going to be a function of who the commissioner is, but also, more importantly, who the department heads that report to that person are. The focus for Mike Beard and this commissioner is going to roll my sleeves up. This past 5 months, the next 5 months, I'm going to do a lot of visiting and a lot of politicking, seeing my whole county. There's no need for the first 6 months for me to be a politician. I will be the administrator. I will find out what the value of the individual department leaders are, what their constraints are, what their goals are, what their weaknesses are. Only then will I make a decision as to where to go for administrator. There's too many complexities involved in our very large county. We're the largest county in the country with the sole commissioner form of government. Leadership is vital. We need energetic, visionary, experienced leadership and commissioner with integrity to make decisions like that. I do not have an incumbent. I will not have one for administrator until I have been the administrator for months, perhaps, to determine what the county's best interests are. We have complex issues to decide. We have complex times to go through. We need a leadership that has experience. I've managed several very large technical organizations. I don't need no job training. I bring experience whereby I will be your administrator for a period of time, and then we'll go forward.
Candidate Tony Tidwell.
There are several links and sites we can get hooked up with through the ACCG, and I think talking to some of the other commissioners in the surrounding areas that have counties similar to ours can be a big help on helping us find someone who would be a good county administrator. You know, you can go out and find somebody that's done an excellent job at some of these big towns or cities or other counties or more metropolitan. But I want somebody that can relate to us. You know, we're just good old down-to-earth people, and be able to work with our employees that we have. I think we have some of the best employees, dedicated employees you're going to find in the county government. We've seen that back when we had the storm damage back last year up at Crow Springs, where everybody just jumped in there and helped out. I want somebody that will take their needs into consideration, smart enough to be able to review the books, our budgets, and see if they can come up with somewhere. I know the commissioner and Steve Bradley have done the best job they've been able to do of trying to go through the budget. I don't know if we can find a place to cut money, but maybe we can. So, but that is a very critical position, the county administrator.
One of the hot topic issues of the last year in the legislature was Sunday sales. As commissioner, would you allow a ballot referendum for the voters to approve or disapprove of Sunday liquor sales? We'll start with candidate Mike Abernathy.
You know what? I was the only candidate and the only pastor in Bartow County that put a vote no in the paper for that. Ran it in the paper. And I knew it was probably suicide, me thinking about running for county commissioner. I used to drink, don't drink anymore. Got saved, turned my life around, made a difference in my life. Here's the deal for me. I'm not against somebody wanting to drink. But here's what I am against, is anything done on Sunday when that is the only day of reverence I see for the Lord in our community. Here's what I would do if that came up, and it will come up because now it's in the city and the places are going to force it, so I'm going to get stuck with it as county commissioner. And here's what I would like to do. If that pops up, I'm going to tax a hound out of it. I may tax alcohol to an nth degree, and I may use that for going back to education or something. I know I'm probably not supposed to, but I would do something with that money because Sunday sales are not that important. They're not helping that much after I got out in the community and talked with folks. But I won't drive it in because one way or the other, I'd rather just sit if I don't have to push it in. I enjoy having the Sabbath to be the Sabbath and not a day that we'll have alcoholic sales again. As a pastor, it won't happen with me.
Thank you. Candidate Tracy Lewis.
Great question, and one that is very timely, especially with the city of Cartersville just passing it here in the past year. That puts the county a little bit behind, if you ask me. My mom has been taking my brother and I to Sunday school and church since we were knee-high, and I agree with most of the things that Pastor said. But this, to me, is not a religious issue at all. It boils down to two things: economic development and education. And if we are behind because we are not allowing that, then that's something that we need to let the people decide. I had a current convenience store couple call me just a couple months ago to see if this is something that if the people wanted, I would allow on the ballot. She said, because we are law-abiding citizens and our business is hurting on Sunday. But across the street, where they may pretend like they don't know that they're in the county, they're making good money on Sunday. She said, we need to shut our doors to keep up. So we've got to look out for our people. And you got to remember that the government is the people. It's the people up to the commissioner. But if that's what the people want, then it would be put on the ballot and it would be for the people to decide.
Thank you. Candidate Mike Bearden.
You've heard me hammer home economic development and jobs. You've heard me talk a little bit about fiscal control. We can't attract good employers unless we have a lean, responsive, compassionate government. Fiscal control. As financial controller for Georgia Power's $10 billion construction program for 10 years, I understand complex organizations and building budgets from the ground up and how that builds economic growth. Planned growth is necessary to ensure that we bring jobs too. But the fourth platform of my entire campaign, and you'll see it in my printed materials and on my website, which is www.mikebearden.com, that the family structure is crucial and vital to everything that's important and sacred in our society. I promise you as commissioner that you'll have someone who exhibits the values and the standards that propagates everything important about families. You will not, however, find me adding regulations that get in the way of effective public discourse. I wish alcohol weren't here. I wish it weren't. It is. There's nothing in my faith, which is deeply grounded in the Bible, that scripturally prevents it being on Sunday. I will not get in the way. I'll likely vote against it as an individual citizen, but I will not get in the way of the citizens voting on whether or not alcohol sales on Sunday would be allowed. We must ensure that we streamline regulations, not add them.